Hello, hello, hello.
Hello,
Such
hola, ¿cómo
an
está?
Hello.
very good, such a good music. I have to put the video again. How are you, my friends, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter? How are you? Let me know. Hello, Carinder. Carinder is already there. How are you, Carinder? Let us know on comments. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Harper. How are you, Stephen?
Well, I've just been to the dentist this afternoon, which is not one of my favourite places to
Why
visit.
not? Ah,
Are you going to tell me you love going to the dentist now?
absolutely.
No, it's one of these places you don't really want to go. Well, you want to go there and you want to leave, but you don't want to actually be there in the
Remain
dentist's chair.
there. Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I'm good. To answer your question, I'm good. I'm good.
Perfect. And Mr. Harper, let us know how are you, my friend.
I'm doing
If you
really
want,
good.
of course, you're not obliged to say it.
Yeah, I've gone through this year. I've gone to the dentist so much because I finally got dental coverage again, and so I've got a lot of cleanings. Actually had some tooth decay that they actually got fixed, and so yeah, it was. I've spent a lot of time in that dental chair, and it's yeah. You don't mind going, and you really love when you're leaving, but it's that whole sitting in that chair is like, yeah, torture. So,
That's true. You are totally at somebody else's mercy.
hmm
And it's a very vulnerable position to be in.
yes,
But that they are professional, very
Mhm.
professional, and I do feel better for having done it. I mean, I went to go with one of the comments that Corinda just made. I went originally 4 weeks ago because a tooth was on the verge of falling out, so I had no option but to go
hmm
to the dentist. And fortunately, they were reopened, so I was able to go there. I've noticed that the comments are dancing on the right hand side.
yes. I noticed that they do the little when they come in.
Oh my God.
When you show them on screen, they disappear.
Oh my.
That's quite
Oh.
swish. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed when Chris's came in, it was like,
Hello,
oh.
Chris.
We,
Well,
we, we've told our dentist stories, Marco. It's your turn.
Yes.
well, to be honest, I don't. My dentist is also my friend, so we keep talking all the time. and he's very he likes to explain everything. So now I have to do this because of this, and then I have to do this procedure because of that and everything. And I say, okay, I will trust you. I will trust you, and it's okay. Well, to be honest, I don't like as much as you do to leave because usually when I leave, I have my pocket lighter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mhm.
So I could skip this thing. So,
Yeah.
Right. For my, I have to do this because this is totally true. I got a course of treatment, which was initial visit, which took 40 minutes while I discovered what was actually in my mouth and decided what action to take. Then I just had a cleaning session. Next up, I've got a visit to the dentist for review to make sure that I'm looking after my newly refurbished mouth. And the whole cost of the three treatments is €40,
Hmm.
$45,
Yeah.
which you know, uh, to my mind, is very reasonable.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, this dental work can, oh boy, that can get expensive.
Yeah,
So,
it
yeah,
can.
and
It can.
you sometimes you find dentists that each time you go there just make a little procedure. It seems that you're buying a car or something to to fix the tooth. I think some of them would be expensiver than buying a car. because you go there and then next week you should go there again and the next week again and again and again and again. At the end, you end up, okay, I can leave my car here to pay the bill.
Right, to everybody who's watching us live, thank you. This is our regular weekly show with Harper, Marco, and me. We're at Marco's house this week. We take it in turns to actually host the broadcast. So Marco's in control. We're hoping for a better broadcast than last week, which was the broadcast from Hull. It does look more stable today. I'm going to say this, Marco. I love the guest room.
Okay, let me knock on wood, usually. Yeah, Chris, I think dental work is expensive everywhere. But the problem is there's a commercial here, an advertisement, which is a guy smiling without a tooth, okay? Yeah. And he also doesn't have the eyebrow. But the only thing you notice is the tooth and not the eyebrow. And it's to a dental clinic or something, and it reminds us about the importance of the teeth. Because you noticed he doesn't have his tooth, but he didn't notice he doesn't have the eyebrow. So people who are watching can share with us the places that you don't like that much to go, like dentists, for instance. I think Harper may like to go to the hairdresser.
Yeah, my girlfriend didn't particularly like. She's like, "Why are you bald?" And I'm like, "Well, I cut my hair." And she goes, "Don't do that."
I had a friend of mine. It was, I think this was almost last week, 20 years ago. We went to a barber shop, and his family genetically they are bald, And then he said to the barber, "Look, I want you to cut my head while I have hair, because one day I will get bald and you won't be able to cut my head. So let me take, let me do
that." Having to go to the hairdressers is a pleasure, because basically now you can still walk in now, but it's more relaxed because there are fewer people there. Yeah, so you can sit down, you can read a magazine, you can watch the television, and then you get your hair cut. And while you're getting your hair cut, nobody can disturb you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's sort of a quiet space.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So let us know also if you like to go to the hairdresser or to the barber. Let us know. One thing I used to do when I was a child, there's a thing here, call it like keeping the place. I was a child. And mostly on holidays. My father asked me, "Look, go to the barber shop, keep the place for me." So when he gets out of work, I was there taking the place for him. Because at that time it was 30 years ago. Barbers didn't book places. Look how evolved we are.
True. That's a full-time profession now, standing in queues for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you set a trend there. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Especially the state of queues now, it's an important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I missed so many money I could have charged to my father, and look, I could be rich right now. $10 an hour. By these days, it was escudos, our money, and it was so an expensive money for. I think it was about. To have £1, we needed almost 300 escudos.
The exchange, yeah.
and a dollar was 200. So you see how
Yeah.
strong our money was by these days. That days.
Yeah.
Well, but now it's okay. We are rich.
Right. You have started a podcast, Marco.
Yes, I did. I did. I started a podcast with my friend Tony, which lives there in Manchester. We met personally 1 year ago in Valencia, Spain. He's Spanish, and it was a nice feeling. We've been talking, and we were saying, okay, we need to do something together, and we came up with this podcast. We already recorded 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it will be the third one, hopefully with a guest. Okay, a earthquake on it.
Hey, maybe.
So let's see how it goes. It's going okay. I think for starting, our metrics are nice to start, and we are making it on Spanish. So I'm becoming even more international every day.
Of course. Of course. Right. How are you recording it? Because there's two of you.
Yes, we are recording it on Be Live.
Ah, right. Okay. Good
Why
choice.
Be Live? Because it has full HD,
Yeah.
1080p, so that's why I'm recording it there. Then I upload the last week. I uploaded the video to Anchor, and that's it. Very easy. I make the graphics with Crello. I made the intro. Guess which tool I used to make the intro, Steven? I don't believe that you can.
It's in video.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think in video it's such an amazing tool, and I've seen the show you made last week. It was last week, right?
It was that. Yeah, last Thursday. Last Thursday,
Yeah.
11 Eastern, 4 p.m. in the UK. Inspired by Be Live with myself and John. And this time round, because it was the 50th show, we wanted to celebrate. And Abhilash, who runs the group, said he would join. And then the CEO, Sankit, said he would join as well. And he gave us the history of InVideo and basically how they work. And we asked them, what do you do in your spare time? And they both said, we don't have any. We work,
I believe.
we work at InVideo 18 hours a day, and then we just go and sleep. And then we come back again and do it all again. But they have gone 18 months ago, they had 200 customers, and they had a very small group on Facebook, and they had a few employees. Now, 18 months later, they've got 800,000 customers.
Wow.
And 110 employees. So he told us the story of how they've gone from that small startup, scaled up to 800,000 customers, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
It's the funny thing about in video is that I don't like to spend time editing videos. Because the learning curve for me usually it's a problem finding assets to put them on the video and everything. It's a time grabber, and within video it is so easy. You have these animations, you have filters, you have masks, you have also videos which you can use,
Yeah.
and musics and everything. So it's an obligation to use in video, I think, by these days, for if you want to have professional looking videos and which don't take you the whole day to make. I think it's, and I have to mention this, that John, I love John personality, because John has this thing. What he thinks is what he says. That's John. And so
Yeah.
I remember he was they you were talking about the customers complainings and requests and everything, and so John came with this thing. So people pay so few and they ask so much. What's the point?
Yeah, he said that's right. You're paying $10 for this. What do you expect?
Hmm.
And yeah, he basically, I mean, they are polite, aren't they, to everybody, to a fault, patient and polite. But John can say as he feels, and he does take people to task if he feels they're asking too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the fact that he said that. Like, okay, you're paying this, you're getting a very good thing. It is, but it's not it's like you're buying a car. You want to pay a Renault and you want to have a Rolls Royce? Really?
Doesn't work that way, does it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely. But
Doesn't.
and I don't know what do you think about it, but usually these people who wants to pay so few are the more demanding.
Mm.
Y-
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially if you're giving things away, Harper. That's not the way to do it, is it? If you give things away, people expect you
No, not at
to
all.
do it on the cheap.
Yep.
I have one example. It
Yeah.
happened.
Sometimes you have to have uh, make there be a value for something, even even if it's just basic. There's got to that they have to think that there's a value to it, because if everything is just free, then they want as much as they can possibly get, and kind of, I don't know the way it goes, I guess. But
Well,
Well, I have. Yes,
sorry.
Stephen.
No, you're okay. I'm good.
No, 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 no. It's your
No,
turn.
there's a psychological battle between free and paying $1 for something, because if you can get people to pay $1 for something, then you can then later sell them something at $10, and later than that something at $100, and that's how it all works, isn't it?
Yes, 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 yes.
Sorry,
Yes,
Marco.
absolutely. Yeah, it comes in the same field because there's this new tool, new platform, a live stream platform, but it is different than the others because on this platform you can monetize. Okay, for instance, Stephen or Harper, you want to give a live stream a class through live stream. Okay, you in this platform got my. I will put it on the screen. Okay,
Okay.
on this platform you can create an event. Okay, and you can say, okay, this event is paid. You have to pay me $10, $100. It's up to you the price. Okay,
mhm.
or nothing.
Right.
And then you can connect with your audience. Okay, so last week, I think I'm one of the early adopters.
Hmm.
I was trying the platform, and so I made an event for free.
Okay.
Four people bought the free ticket.
Yeah.
How many of them have appeared on the event?
And Harper, you go first because
I'm thinking probably none.
I'm going to
And
go.
you,
I'm going to go none to one.
Yeah.
okay, uh, Harper, 100% right. Stephen, 50% right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they if they paid something for it, say if they paid $5 for it, they're gonna they're more likely to show up because it's like, hey, I got to get my money's worth, or something. But if it's free, it's like, I'll catch it next time or something.
But it's
So.
it's a nice platform. It's a nice platform, for instance, if you want to monetize your knowledge, your influence. For instance, if you are an influ, well, there's a thing here because if you are an influencer, which and influencer word, I think it's very wide, the meaning, But for instance, if you have a good community engaged and you have your influence based on knowledge, on experience you're providing to your audience, and not with the appearance you have, okay? I think it's a nice option for you to, for instance, Stephen, you want to make a Q&A
Yeah.
on live stream.
Right.
You
Okay.
set a day, you set an hour, you set a
Mhm.
price, and then you go live. People have to buy the ticket to join
Okay.
you. Okay. For instance, if you have a following, you people will be notified that you're live, and if they want to buy the ticket, I'm thinking by these days to create a kind of shared consultant time. Like for instance, I'm there around 1 hour, and people buy a ticket and can make me a question. And so you can have this one-on-one,
Mhm.
okay? And the audience also will get this insight.
Okay.
Hmm.
Got you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about making this every week. So maybe at the beginning nobody will show up, maybe, and maybe this could have some traction
Yeah.
if it starts going good. And I think it's a nice way to monetize. By I think they started with up to 8 people.
Mhm.
They are going up 40, and I don't know, to be honest, I don't know how they will go. I think 40 it's a good number to make this, because one of the things is this intimacy, very intimate uh, events. But I think it's a nice option for you to get some money from your knowledge, from your community, because giving free all the time, it's not good for you, and even to your audience, because they don't put value in what you
Yeah.
share.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will show you the platform a little bit.
Surely. Get started.
Okay,
Yeah.
you have here the upcoming events.
Mhm.
Okay, let me show you. Okay, I think it's not a problem. Okay, you have this. It is on mobile. You can go to the
Yeah.
App Store or Play Store, and searching by Got My, you will find the app. Okay, you can share the event. You can buy the ticket. I think this one is for free. Okay, you have here past events. Look, mine.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look at yours.
Well, it
Okay.
says that I have 6 attendees. Okay. And another good thing, it's at the end you will get reviewed, hopefully.
Yeah.
Which means at the end people can review the live show you just finished.
That's good.
What you can, for instance, if you are a musician, you can make a kind of a show using this
Mhm.
platform. Okay, you can show the backstages if you are a group and you want to share. Okay, tomorrow, well, by these days it's very hard to make a concert, but if you want to share a bit of your concert, it also allows you.
Right. Okay. Comment from Chris. I'm going to take a look at that, Mark, and I'll do a before next week's broadcast. I'll do a test run.
Yeah, well, Chris is saying, Marco, perhaps you can try something like Italki, where people can book you. Yes, you can do that also. I mean, for instance, you enter on my profile, and then you have the availability to book a time with me.
Yeah.
So, for instance, you're a consultant, you're a trainer or something, and people wants to pick your brains for a while, you can send them the link to this platform, and then they can book the time with you.
And the thing is, that I love AppSumo, and AppSumo is a great place to pick up $49 deals. And one that I picked up last year was called Book Like a Boss. and basically it gives you a landing page, it gives you a calendar, it gives you the ability to take time slots, offer time slots, and people can actually book to spend time with you. But I forgot about it. I forgot I'd done it. My calendar was set up, but I forgot it. So just before the show today, I'm looking through my emails, and somebody booked me for 3:40 this afternoon. And I thought, I've got the best excuse in the world. I was at the dentist. Yeah. So yeah, I talk. Yeah, but I'm going to have a look at that. If you can post the link afterwards, Marco, I'll take a look at that.
Yes, I can.
And see if we can get something going.
If you want, you can go to. Okay, I can share it.
If you've got an affiliate link, I'll take that.
I don't think they have it yet.
All right. Okay.
I think...
No, I've been advised to make more use of affiliate links. So
me too.
World.
For instance, on my podcast, one of the sections on the podcast is recommendations.
Yeah.
And tools, recommending tools. I'm pointing to those I have affiliate links.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two things. One, most important, I'm using and I trust them. And the second one, I can make some money from them. So why not?
Indeed. And it doesn't cost the person buying it anymore. The cost stays the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and they are removing the risk that they could have by trying by themselves. Let me try. No, it's tried for me. I trust them, so you can use it. Yeah. And most of them also give some advantage to those people who buy it from your affiliate link. So I don't see any problem with that, because we should make money. Come on. I think the time we spend trying new things, for instance, the time we spend creating tutorials about some tools, the knowledge we are giving to others. Come on, we should charge a little bit at least.
Yeah, I mean that's basically I made a decision last week on Udemy. I had a free course on Udemy, and I've now made it paid.
Yeah, you should. So I think I told you about this sometimes ago. I don't think it's fair to spend so much time creating things and put in your time, your knowledge, your patience, your love on that, and then not charging for it. I
agree. Yeah. Okay. Now, is something happening on November 3rd, Harper? Or not? In the States?
November 3rd?
Yeah. I've heard rumors of an election.
Yeah, I think there's an election coming up.
Maybe. Perhaps.
I'll be glad when November 4th comes, put it that way.
Yeah.
So it's, I try to stay out of it. As much as possible. I used to be, before I moved to Arizona, I used to be very involved in politics, and it was so stressful that I ended up in a hospital every 2 years, because the election that I was involved in was an every 2 year election, and it got way too stressful. And so I don't think there's going to be a change in our leadership next month. So, which I think will, all of the riots and everything that the world has been seeing in the U.S., I think it's just going to explode when the results get posted. But I don't think there's going to be a change in leadership. So, but
we've got our own problems in the UK.
You guys are pushing the end of the year here real quick.
Yeah, we know, and we're dreading it. We leave the EU, we leave Portugal behind, and set off for sunnier climes. No, it's going to be. a bloodbath because we're not ready for it. Our government's not ready for it. They don't have a clue. It's going to be. We're going to be paying higher prices for food. We're going to be paying higher prices for everything, and it's just there's no economic argument for doing what we're doing. It's an emotional argument. It's not an economic one, and everybody in the country is going to lose. And that's a fact. Even the government say that. There are going to be 7,000 lorries parked up in Kent waiting to get from Dover to Calais. It's just going to be crap. Oh, well, that's
now here's a question. Here's a question. A British friend of mine that lives over here. So once you leave the EU, are you guys going back to British money, or are you going to continue using the EU, the euro?
We never converted to the euro. We still got the pound. That was a decision taken about 20 years ago that we wouldn't go over to the euro. And I think somebody had a long game plan. And the game plan was, we don't want to be part of the euro because it makes it more difficult to get out of the EU. That was forward thinking at its best or worst, depending on which side of the fence you're on. But no, we've got the pound, and it's pretty strong at the moment, but it's going to tank. It really is going to tank. If you want to play it forward, then which way around is it? Do you want to buy sterling now or sell sterling? I don't know. I think if you forward sell sterling, right, work it out yourselves. It's either a bull or a bear market. I don't know, but there is a lot of billionaires and millionaires actually betting on the currency markets, and they will make a packet. Yeah, money comes to money. So also,
absolutely. Yeah. That's we have the same say here.
Yeah, the change from 2020 to 2021 is going to be interesting, I think, worldwide. So, and everybody's got their own little things that they're dealing with. So, I mean, Portugal is Portugal. So, I mean, you know.
Well, we also have a president which likes to be the kind of the clown of the circus. For instance, the other day he took the shirt off to take the vaccine against flu, and he was photographed without toplessing. I don't see the point on this kind of situations, because he's not an anonymous person. He is our biggest picture, our biggest character in the country, and let him picture that way. Well, sometimes he goes out of his hands. I don't like it, because he takes this popular thing too much deep, I think. And sometimes you have to, because you're the main figure of the state, I think you should remain a little bit, how should I say it?
Conservative.
Yes, absolutely.
With a small c.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, when you're in that public eye, that is how people should see you. They shouldn't see you, that they need to see you as that image. You are that strong leader. You're, whatever. Even though you're a normal person, but when you're in the public eye, that is how they should see you. So.
Which brings us round to the pearls of Zoom. No, we better not go there. Things you shouldn't do on Zoom. I think that's number one.
We'll just leave that one.
Let's change the topic. Go over to Chris.
If it doesn't show on a Disney movie, don't do it on Zoom.
I don't know. There's some of those Disney movies in the 90s that
isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
right? And Chris is saying, I don't understand why the government takes such a Brexit decision when they can see now what they are doing to their people. Right. Okay. This was, it wasn't a government decision.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the Prime Minister at the time, David Cameron, had problems with the Tory party. Party he led had a small majority in Parliament, and a faction out of the 300 odd MPs were saying, right, okay, if we don't have a vote about the EU, then we're going to rebel against the government and you'll never get your program through. We won't vote for anything that you want. And rather than tough it out and actually tell them to go and take a running jump off a pier, what he actually did was said, right, we'll have a referendum. And then he didn't campaign for staying in Europe, and he let the people who were campaigning to leave Europe have the upper hand. All got out of control. The end result was that 51.2% of the British public voted to leave Europe. So it's not the politicians. It was the people what done it. There's no way back. You can't have a second vote, or best out of three, or toss a coin. We're leaving because the majority of the people in the UK decided to do it. So we can't blame the government for this one. We can blame David Cameron though, because he should never have actually arranged it. But it's water under the bridge now, and undoubtedly history will have a story to tell about it. Okay,
So now
but we're all going to Portugal next year. Sorry.
Yeah. So with the UK leaving the EU, obviously everybody's going to be watching to kind of see how the UK does. Obviously, it's going to go. There's going to be it's going to be rough times, and then eventually it's going to come back up and plateau. But do you think that there will be other countries once you guys get back up on your feet? Do you think there will be other countries that decide to leave?
Well, I think Marco knows that there are certain countries in the EU, if Britain makes a success of it, they're going to turn around and say, well, it can be done. And that's what the EU fears. Basically, that there are countries who feel they would be better off out of the EU than inside it. And a case in point is Greece. The Greek people suffered greatly in the recent years because of, well, bad government, but also because of rules imposed by the EU. Marco.
Yes. Well, there's a problem with Mediterranean countries, which is we are kind of allergic to rules. And I have this theory that for me is not maybe so crazy, which is if there are too much sun in your country, maybe you don't like rules, you are a little bit lazy. But that's just a thinking of me.
Well,
Because,
we break that rule.
because yeah, come on. If you want to change the English economy with the Portuguese, I'm okay with that. We can make the deal right now because
Okay.
it's I think it's look, Greece, Italy, Spain, and Portugal. Okay, we have sun, we have nice beaches, we have nice weather, amazing landscapes and everything. But the problem is we get so many good things for free that we think the whole thing should be for free.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, for instance, credit here in Portugal is again rising. Okay, but you know one thing about credits, you have to pay them.
Yeah.
and that's the problem. And you ask to the bank has to a higher identity, and the government. And the other thing is, usually, when you're not a manufacturer, like Germany, for instance, when you get more money, you spend with things that Germany or China are making. So the money doesn't remain here, it goes out. And for instance, why you fall in debt? Well, okay, you want to buy a house, that's okay, no, not a problem. But you have to have you want to have a bigger car. Portugal, we don't have, we are not building cars, our own cars. We are working to Volkswagen, to Opel, and everything, but it's not for us. We want to have a bigger TV set. We don't have also any TV set brands, so the money goes out. And that's the problem. And usually, when you live in a poorer country, you want to give these richer signals, And it's the trick thing. It's that you fall in debt so fast, and it's kind of a cycle. And that's why we had so many times FMI. I don't know the EMF. I don't know the money the money ruler in the world. Let me say, the International Monetary Fund.
That's it. Yeah.
So I think last 40 years they came here 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And the problem is, it's like Greek people. Okay, I want to retire at 50. Yes, you can. Okay, and who will pay it? German people? Do you think it's fair? And that's the problem. If you want to have a privilege, someone has to pay it. Who will be? IMF.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. I mean, tourism is a large part of the UK and of Portugal and of the States, and that's just not there at the moment, is it?
Absolutely.
No. Yeah.
And the problem is, for instance, in UK somehow you have some industry, okay? United States also has industry.
Yes.
Even though by these days China is the big industry in the world, okay? But here we have so few industry because most of the time we work based on a low price, not differentiated work, which everybody can do. And the problem is, when you work based on low price, if a neighbor of you, or if a Bulgarian or a Slovenian or a Russian or a Korean or a Chinese people are working cheaper than you, bye-bye.
Yeah, that's it.
Because there's no add value on what you do. And that's the problem.
Yeah, that's it. Companies will stop employing people in their own country and employ people in foreign countries. Yeah, I mean, I can give you an example. We've got a gentleman called James Dyson, and James Dyson invents things. He's an inventor, and not only does he invent them, he actually manufactures them. And the plant for R&D is about 35 miles up the road, and that's where everything's designed, full design studios. But he doesn't manufacture in the UK. He manufactures in the Far East. Yeah, it's just, that's the way the world is, that you actually make things in the cheapest place to make them.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the U.S. is battling right now is, trying to get more things, out of China and start making here in our country. And, is so that it helps the U.S., so we're not reliant on giving our money to somebody else to do that. We want to be able to make it here. So.
Yeah.
And the problem is, if you only have one stream of making money, like here mostly tourism, if the stream gets dry, you have a problem, my friend. A big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very true.
Stephen, it's up to you now. On
I
London
can't. No, no,
Studios.
no. I've got to go back. I mean, I did study economics a long time ago, and it's so interwoven, and we've given up so much. I mean, just for instance, we go back. I come from a cotton town. That's not growing cotton. That's cotton mills. And basically, the bales of cotton came across from the States to Liverpool, from Liverpool up the Leeds and Liverpool Canal to where I lived, which is a place in Lancashire, about 20 miles north of Manchester. And that's where the cotton mills were. They were built alongside the canal so they could be water-powered mills. And that became a major industry. Certainly up until the 60s and 70s, a lot of cotton goods were actually made in the UK from cotton supplied by the States. That worked because you're growing the cotton, you ship it out, we turn it into cloth. Cloth is then sold around the world. That worked, okay. But then somebody decided that no, it could be done cheaper. It could be done cheaper if it was done in Asia, if it was done in India or Pakistan. And we can get the labor there, but they don't have the machinery. What do? We take the machinery out of the mills in the UK and we ship it over to India and Pakistan. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. And that's why the mills in our area just closed down, because it was cheaper labor wise to make it abroad. And you've got British built machinery now running factories in India, Pakistan. I'm not picking them out, but Asian countries which actually use, I mean, we've got very few cotton mills now. Most of them have been turned into office space. The canal itself is now a tourist industry, so you can go on a barge on holiday. It's not it used to be an economic corridor, from the States to Liverpool to Lancashire and then out to the world. But that's all gone. And that's where it all began, in my opinion. So that's my rant of the day. I'm going to say nothing now.
So that was Stephen from London Studios.
All right. So here's a question. I've got it twice now. I got a thing that says that I'm not connected to the chat server. It's popped up twice. Have you guys seen that as well, or?
No, not really.
It's like a red box that pops up just over the chat comments.
Yeah.
And it says, unable to connect to chat server. And I let it go and it reconnects, but it's done it twice. I'm just curious if you guys do.
Okay.
Don't say it, please, Steve Harper. Don't say let it go, because let it go connects to Frozen, and you know what may happen.
Yes.
Right. Okay. A comment from Chris. Same for knitwear. My parents stopped their factory when the Chinese came into the market. Were cheaper than
the wire to make them.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there used to be a saying that we build a factory and China builds a city to manufacture shoes. If you want to make shoes, we build a shoe factory. China would actually build a city making nothing but shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it all comes back to China, really.
Okay, so now let's get back to sports.
Right.
Oh, talking of sport, this is absolutely amazing. Okay, at football now in the UK, there's no crowd, but there is Sky Television.
Just a little break, Stephen. Harper, look, this way. Look, for us, football, it's what you call soccer, you know?
I know.
Right. Okay. Right. So,
you get this guy.
Football in the UK is multi-million-pound industry. In fact, not billion-pound industry, and it's got to go on because the television are paying to actually broadcast it. So the matches go on without a crowd, with synthetic cheering. But this week, a rugby match took place with 40,000 people in the crowd, not wearing a mask, and all of them totally safe. They were in New Zealand, and New Zealand has banished COVID.
Yeah.
And they don't have, they've probably got their number of cases in the teens, and they can now go back to normal life with 40,000 people at a rugby match.
Wow.
So it is possible. That's all I'm saying. I mean, to actually hear the 40,000 people rather than an empty stadium was vast improvement. So if you check it out, yeah. So it is possible.
Yeah, because for instance, the last Saturday it was a kind of a big game here between Sporting, which is my favorite team, and FC Porto. And there was no people watching, no people on the benches. And for me, it was so an interesting football game. I ended up, oh my God, and for me it was really a not so good game. And I've seen the people commenting on the TV stations. Oh, it was a good game. It was a good game. Nice game. And I say, really? Did we saw the same? Because I think it's part of sport, and mostly football, soccer.
Well, it is part of sport. If you think about Liverpool, Liverpool won the Premiership last year, well deserved. But they have a football ground, Anfield, and one end of that ground is the Kop, and the Kop is the Liverpool end, and that's where all the supporters are. And it's very true to say that those supporters at that end of the ground can actually score a goal because they can get behind the team and push the team on. I think that's as you alluded to, Mark, that's part of the game, isn't it? The crowd getting involved and pushing their team, barracking for their team.
Definitely.
Well, I don't know if you know it. I played football some years ago. And usually during the week on the trainings, we have these friendly games or training like we were playing in the proper way, and that's we heard the players yelling, we heard the trainer, the coach yelling, and that's what happens now. And I'm watching the games usually when I go to the cafe to watch the games, because they are on the paid television, and I'm poor. I can't afford to have this TV channel. And I usually comment with others. Look, it seems that they are making a friendly playing, because without anyone in the benches, you can hear what players are saying to each other, what coach is yelling to the players or to the referee. Also,
yeah, it's kind of like a scrimmage game.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Yep. Yeah, I played football.
With
soccer
that egg,
when I was a kid.
With that egg ball.
With the round ball.
Oh, good.
Yes, and I played from the time I was 6 until the time I was 13. So, I'm actually a Liverpool fan, and have been for years. And
you'll never walk alone then.
No, that will probably be a tattoo on my arm at some point. But in fact, that's how I met my British friend here, is through the Liverpool fan page on Facebook. He was like, "Wait a minute, where are you?"
Yeah, true. It's an international language, is football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this week they were saying Manchester United and Liverpool decided that they were going to go away and form their own league. But fortunately, common sense prevailed, and that's not going to happen. There might be
something about it. Yes.
Yeah, there might be a new European league, with 20 teams from throughout Europe, 5 from each country. Yeah. So
Yeah.
5 from
That could be
England.
interesting.
Yeah. Anything's possible. But it's all about money.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when all this craziness started earlier this year, it was there was some of our basketball people. I don't know if they're good or not because I don't even know how to play basketball. But they were like, "Well, if there's no fans in the seats, I'm not playing." Well, your fans are still watching your game, so and you're paid to play. Then yeah,
Yeah. You can't not play.
yeah. I mean, God, if I was paid to play football, soccer. I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, you play your favorite sport, and you're like going, you're living your dream. So it's like, hello.
Yeah,
And getting well paid for it.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very much.
Even though there are a few players which are really well paid.
Mm-hmm.
But for instance, there's this, I don't know there, but here in Portugal, there's this secondary divisions and everything.
Right.
And they don't get so good paid. And the problem is, usually, they go bankrupt, the teams at the season starts at August, and at December they are bankrupt. They don't have money. So
Yeah, there's a lot of them that just poor
they
finances.
the players don't get usually half of the season. They don't see the money, and then they go to the courts to sue the teams and everything. It's crazy. And the problem is there's this lifestyle standard on the football players which is high, and it's a career which belongs to so few time,
Oh, yes,
and
sure. Yeah.
it's really short. For instance, you start making money, thankfully, hopefully at 20, and at 35, in a very good scenario, you end.
Yeah.
So you have when so much people are starting and growing their careers as a football player, and it goes to every sport people. For instance, on tennis, it's even sooner. At 30, a tennis player, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the problem is, okay, you have a few which makes a lot of money. Yes, they do, but not so few who doesn't make that amount of money, and they try to live the same style of life, and you end up at 31, 32, 35, and then because one of the problems with sports it's that it's very demanding in time. Usually it's hard to study while you're training and everything. Even though here there are a few players which are studying, but the problem is you end up 35 with your career and you have a few things to do because some of them go to coaches, but here to be a coach you have to make a course, and to reach I think it's the fourth level, which is the requested to train a first league team.
Yeah.
You have to make the three levels before, and it takes a lot of time. And for instance, the fourth level, they don't do the courses too often, so you have to wait. And for instance, there's this problem here. There are at least, I think, two coaches which are fake coaches because they don't have the fourth level, so they have to apply another one, like he was the coach, and they are there on the back stages because they don't have the final level to be a coach of a first league team. It's tough. They have to. Usually we used to say here they need to have head to manage everything and to For instance, and I think it happens in all kind of sports, mostly on professional sports. Lots of players who get ruined after 2-3 years finishing the career. George Best, for instance, Gascoigne, they get eluded with everything they get, and then it so fast it all vanish.
Indeed, and that's 60 minutes gone.
Yeah, like our time.
Indeed.
Well, at least we had fun. I have to clean my office, even though it's not bad. I have to.
Yeah, that plant right over there needs to be watered.
Yeah. We can play soccer. Well, my friends, it was a pleasure. See you next week. For all of you who were watching till now, thank you so much. You can leave some comments there. You're always invited to join us. Don't be shy. Join us on screen, okay? We can talk about football. We can talk about gastronomy, food, beverage, brewing, and everything. We are people who likes to talk about everything. Feel free to join. Stephen, it's your turn to wrap up.
From the UK, from the USA, from Portugal, it's goodbye from Harper and Marco and myself. We're back at the same time next week, 12 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. We're coming to my house. Obviously, everything in Marco's house works perfectly. I'm hoping that when we come to mine next week, it will be the same. We wish you a good week.
Fill the fridge, please. Fill the fridge with beer. Fill the fridge.
All right, there will be refreshments, I promise. Okay. And comment from Chris, which I'll read out. Thank you so much for the excellent show. And thank you, Chris, for commenting and joining us. We'll be back next week. What more can we do? Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.